What's happening? It's your boy Clay Way. You tune in to Clay Way TV. Moving to the Ville, part two. But yeah, as I left off part one, Hinesville, you get your issue in Hinesville. I ain't gonna lie to you. Coming up when I was young and first moving to the Ville, you know, everything was a culture shock. You know, when I went to school, like I say, they had different cliques, different crews, and they had gangs. you know. And two of the gangs that stuck out to me the most was the Bloods and the Crips. You know, Bloods and the Crips. You had LMC and you had BSG, Lil Mafia Crip, Brimside Gangsters. They stuck out to me the most. Me coming from Germany and family in California. You know what I'm saying? I don't glorify gang banging or nothing like that. But in certain situations when I was coming up in life, they pretty much looked out for me as a youngin, especially when I was overseas in Germany. You got two working parents that's barely never home, and you out there roaming the streets, you know what I'm saying, alone, and you really ain't got no, And then at the time, my brother, you know, had got kicked out of Germany. He was over there doing some crazy stuff in Germany, and all his friends and his homeboys, really looked out for me and made sure I ate and money in my pocket and all type of stuff. So, but anyway, back to Hinesville. You know, um, when I moved there, starting school, I started, meeting a lot of different people, hearing a lot of different things, um, getting to know everybody. So I end up running into my homeboy Chris from Germany. Me and him was in the same part of Germany where I just left, Frankfurt, Germany. And Chris was a part of the Lil Clique that I told y'all about. If y'all look at my other stories and stuff like that on my channel, I talked about Dog Pound or Lil Clique we had over there in Swankford, Germany. Little boys wearing the little scully caps with DPG on the front and the set name in the back. He was a part of that with me. You know what I mean? So fast forward to Hinesville. I got to talking with Chris. We laughing. We talking about the old days and stuff. He said, "Yeah, man, I stay in Honey Ridge." I said, "Oh yeah?" He said, "Yeah." He said, "I'm a Crip now, Clay." I said, "For real?" He said, "Yeah, I'm LMC, Lil Mafia Crip." I said, "Dang." I said, "Dang, man." I started laughing and stuff. Like, "So you crippin' now?" He was like, "Yeah, man." He said, "Man, you should come to the hood, man, sometime, man. Kick it with me." I said, "All right, me and Chris, we always been homeboys and real tight and everything like that. We had a real good relationship, man, real good homeboy. They call him 40 in the hood, Honey Ridge, Lil Mafia, Crip, LMC. So, me being the type of person I was in HMS, I had a lot of homeboys, especially going from HMS to Lewis Frazier. I played on the Lewis Frazier football team. So on Lewis Frazier football team, I met a lot of homeboys and stuff like that too. One being, I had a homeboy named VJ. He was on the football team with us at Lewis Frazier. And VJ was from Eagles Landing. And VJ ran with a whole another clique that was the opposite from my homeboy 40. VJ, he was Brimside Gangster, which is blood. You know what I'm saying? And it was two main sets, or should I say neighborhoods, in Hinesville that was Brimside Gangsters. You had Point South and you had Eagles Landing. So my homeboy 40 and them boys really ain't get along. Them boys, of course, Bloods and Crips. You know what I mean? Them boys ain't get along. Them niggas see each other. It was on. It was on and popping. I'm talking about it was a culture shock. You know what I mean? Like so I really never did get into the politics of them two cliques. Hinesville, that's what really kept me out of the game. I ain't gonna lie, one time when I was in HMS, I almost got put down in Rolling 60s. You know what I'm saying? Rolling 60s um was kind of they was in Hinesville. They wasn't as big as LMC or any other gangs that was in Hinesville, but they had a presence there. You know what I mean? They wasn't small either, but they wasn't the biggest. So I almost got down with them. And like I say, two of my homeboys that I didn't mention in part one that pretty much ran things too, in them times in school and shit that I looked up to, that took me under their wing and really showed me the ropes and how to maneuver through the Ville and Liberty County and stuff like that. So I was one day I was talking to one of the homies in school named Ridge, and Ridge, um this and that, he was just telling me about what's going on out here in the Ville. He was another one that would put me on game. So one day I had got with some dudes and that I had already know for a few months in HMS, and they wanted to put me on Rolling 60s. So I agreed, you know what I'm saying, and everything was going down. We was in the bathroom and they started graffitiing on the wall, making it be known that they finna initiate somebody and everything. And two of my homeboys walked in. I guess they heard about it or something like that. It was my homeboy uh Trap and Chunk. I ain't gonna give their real names out. Everybody in the Ville know who Trap and Chunk is. You know what I mean? They were like, Clay, hell nah, man. Get up, man. Get up, man. Hell nah, we're not gonna do this, man. Come on, Clay, let's ride, homie. So I got up because I highly respected these two dudes, man. Like, it been one time while I was walking in HMS with Trap and Chunk, and they were very tight. They were very close, man. Them two niggas, especially in HMS, they used to always walk together. So it been one time, and this for another story. Ville and Raintree had got into it, and all of a sudden, Trap and Chunk just ran off. I was like, dang. Fast forward to now, in my mind, I'm thinking like they was the two reasons probably that calmed it down, because Trap being from Hinesville and Chunk being from the country, Riceboro, and them boys in Wattville had a lot of respect for Chunk. You know what I'm saying? And of course, Hinesville had a lot of respect for Trap. Trap was from California. Me and him, man, he came up in the 30s in California, Harlem. You know what I'm saying? Me and him was real close, man. We liked the West Coast music. He had another cousin too named Keith, man. Like, they liked me because I used to love West Coast music. I used to wear Chucks, Dickies. That was just my attire, man. Even in Germany, that's how I used to dress. You know what I'm saying? I used to always wear khakis and Chucks, and blue was always been my favorite color. I was born September 22nd. My birthstone is blue. You know what I'm saying? Blue always been my favorite color. I love the color blue, which almost got me in trouble a few times in California, because that's all I brought one time when I had went out there, and that was a culture shock. Because like I say, at that time, I ain't know nothing about no Bloods at all. Like in Germany, all we had was Crips and GDs. That's all we had. That's all I ever known. So when I went to California, where the shit was originated, the Crips and the Bloods, I learned fast what a Blood was. That's for another story. But anyway, yeah, man. So Trap and Chunk, man, made me get off the flow and everything, and they put me on game and like, man, told me basically who was the real and who was the fake in the Ville. They put me on game that day. And throughout my years of being in middle school and high school, I learned who was the real and who was the fake. You know what I'm saying? So Yeah, man, them two right there, man. But it was a culture shock, man. LMC and Brimside Gangsters, man. Them niggas, and I'm young. I ain't got no license. I ain't drive around the Ville at that time. But I used to hear stories every day in school, and I used to see fights every day in school. And, I always heard about Honey Ridge and Point South and Eagles Landing meeting up, fighting each other, shooting at each other. Just different stuff through the Ville. You know what I'm saying? Just causing mayhem. You know what I'm saying? And it was a culture shock, man. Like, it was some real shit going on in the '90s in Hinesville. You know, some real shit, some real niggas. You know what I'm saying? Um, it was some real shit. You know, my homeboy 40, man. You know, I still follow him on the books now, Facebook, man. He a grown ass man now with kids. He ain't about none of that shit no more. Straight OG, man, doing what an OG supposed to do. Take care of his family, married, got a wife and kids, man. Every time I see him post his pictures, him eating out with his family, you know, I'm happy for that man. You know what I'm saying? And VJ, in and out of prison. His brother, you know what I'm saying? In and out of prison, man. Them boys still living that gang life, man. And, you know, still hollering that brim stuff. You know what I mean? I hope one day they'll come to realize, man, that life is too short, man, and enjoy life to the fullest, man, the positive way, and get out of that mentality of the gang banging world, man. But coming up, man, in Hinesville as a youngin' was a culture shock. You know what I mean? And I'm happy I moved to the Ville, though. It taught me a lot. Like I always say, it taught me a lot. I learned a lot. So. But once again, this your boy Clay Way. You tune in to Clay Way TV. I appreciate y'all, man, for tuning in and listening to my stories. And this is just part 2, man. I got a part 3. I don't know how many parts I got of this moving to the Ville, man, because like I said, it's a lot. It's a lot. Holla at your boy, though, man. Appreciate y'all. Love.